Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on Upptalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say Upptalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
It is actually the dashboard of NetSuite ERP. We have these tabs. Here we have transactions. From here we can enter sales order. Entering sales order means creating sales order, and in O2C cycle, particularly in NetSuite, we have first thing is sales order. After that we create invoices, and after that, before we can create invoices directly, or either there is one step in between, which is item fulfillment. You might be aware of that. Item fulfillment is something pick, pack, ship thing like whenever the item is delivered, we assume that item is fully fulfilled. After that, here comes invoice, and after invoice, here comes customer payment, and then deposit or something. If after that refund is needed, we can create refund as well. For all these cycle, we have particular records. Let me open one for you if there is any. You need to remember the pass as well. How do I get access to this? Actually, you do not have access to this. I will check if I can provide access. How do I? I need to get access somehow. Either Darwin has to give me or he has to give me. This is the list of sales orders. You can see, and let's view one. It's taking time to open. We can click on view to open it. This is a sales order. Particularly to create a sales order, what we do, it's as simple as you can understand. We just need to open the form for which the path is this transaction sales. Enter sales and click on it. After that, this form will be opened, and we need to fill only the mandatory fields. All those fields which are not mandatory, we need not to fill, and it will be created. What are the mandatory things? Mostly, the customer will be mandatory, date will be mandatory, date is mostly auto-filled. And there's this subsidiary, you have an idea about subsidiary. Subsidiary is kind of like different company within a big company, like I have been understood as one subsidiary. I think in our company, as I understood, is like more like if you have you let's say I have Canada, I have another company, then I can put a subsidiary over there as well. A company can have multiple subsidiaries as well, and there will be a primary subsidiary which will be, the main subsidiary. We can say this is the sales order typically, and we need to create sales order, we need to add one item, and we need to just click on save. Then the sales order will be created. This is the first step to create a sales order, and all these orders, sales order or something, these are called NetSuite records. When I say record, I mean to say something, a transaction or an entity. By saying an entity, I mean an employee or say customers or a partner for everything. We have a record in NetSuite. Does that make sense? Record. Basically, I understand what makes sense, but this is database. You have every sales owner. You have one record, one line in the database, right? Or in Excel is one record, right? I understand. Just to give an idea of what, as a NetSuite developer, we will be doing, Before things get some boring for you, let me just give you an idea what as a NetSuite developer we actually do. What type of requirement we have from our client is that let's just start with some simple customization. Our client is, NetSuite will provide the basic account, right? It will be the standard one NetSuite merchant who is using NetSuite. Obviously, they can customize that account according to their preferences. What is the simplest thing they can ask from us is that this is the, let's say, standard form only, right? Let me edit it. According to their business requirement or what they might want from us. Is that us to just simply create a field over here, right? They will ask us just to create a simply field over here, just to track something that, let's say they want to put a memo on every sales order. They will ask us to create a save field over here. As a developer, we will be creating this field for them and we will make sure that it appears on all the sales order they are going to create, right? A field can be of any type you might be aware of. There are multi types of field we can create. It may be a list type field, it may be a currency type field, it may be a text field only or email field. Whatever we can create, we will create, right? That is a simple requirement of what we have coming to next. Sometimes what they will ask from us is that they are going to save this item. They are adding this item. Multiple times, what they will ask from us, multiple complaints. What they will do, they will not like to. If there is a company, it provides a discount for the sales order more than 350, let's say, right? Normally, what will happen? They will go and they will manually have to add that discount item for every sales order, right? In that scenario, they will hire a developer and they will ask us to add a discount item automatically whenever they are going to save this sales order. Does that make sense? That kind of development we will be providing. That is just to give you a basic idea of what, as a NetSuite developer, we will be doing. It's just an example I'm giving you on sales order. These kind of, customization we can be providing on any other record as well. Let's say purchase order, sales order or invoice or something. That is just to give an idea what, as a NetSuite developer, we will be doing. Does that make sense? Now let's come to our PPT. These are the transactions which we have. Currently, you are on sales order page, right? Sales order page, yes. Let's try to create a sales order if you would like, right? We are on this page. This is a fresh sales order. Sometimes you need to remember the paths. This is an important thing as well. Or transactions, sales and enter sales order. We will be selecting a customer. I selected one. It takes term signed to just now. Our customer is selected and you can see that based on customer subsidiary is already selected, right? Let's see. Someone has validation on this. That type of validation also we can put. I will come to that when we'll be doing a scripting part. We'll just to, make you understand all these fields which we are seeing here. We call these fields body fields. We call these fields body fields, and these are the fields. Primary information is a field group. Sales information is a field group. Intercompany management is a field group. And these are the fields. And this item, we call it subtab. Item is a subtab. Shipping is a subtab. Billing is a subtab. Accounting relationship. All these are subtabs. And this whole line under item. You can see we call this a sublist. These things are the technical things you need to remember, when addressing further. These are the technical things which will be, coming. Let's save it first. The same sort of please enter values for sales order type is the sales order type. Somebody create a new field or something. Oh, it was for the type. Because somebody putting custom. Oh, let's check in custom only. Nothing is there. I will show you whenever we create a field, if we are not, providing where we need to render it, it will be coming under custom only. Otherwise, if we are providing that we need to render it under this primary information, it will come here. Otherwise, if we are not providing any subtab or any field group, it will not come over there. It will come under custom only. And let's save it now. You have already submitted this form. You can see that a sales order has been created. It is our first step, to create this O2C cycle. After that, there is this approve button. This is something, depends on the business logic. If a customer or a merchant does not want this, we can remove this button as well. But for now, just, try to leave it. Let's company wants that all the sales order, whenever they are created, before moving ahead, those should be approved by a specific role. In NetSuite, we can have multiple roles as well, as you can see here. I'm logged in with this administrator role. The roles can be either, if you are a company employee and your company is using NetSuite right. They might give you a specific role only. Let's say they want to give you an accountant role only, and or they want to give you a sales rep role only. For those particular roles, you have limited access. what I can say. But for administrator, as an administrator, you have all the permissions to all the NetSuite records, and you can do everything as an administrator. Does that make sense? Those are the things those are the roles only, and we can customize any role as well. As an administrator, you can customize any roles. You know, if you want to give permission to accountant for something that he or she does not have, you can also provide the access for that as well. For now, let's approve this. This pattern is given by workflow, right? This pattern is given by the workflow. This button, not actually this button, is not coming from workflow. With workflows, we can create buttons, and mostly these buttons are created from workflows, and workflows also used for creating approval or something. But this particular button is not coming from workflow. Let me show you where this button is coming from if you would like to. We have this setup company enable features. And from this setup and company enable features, we can enable multiple things. There should be a checkbox which says either you want to have that approve button or not. You can see that there are multiple checkboxes which are not checked. There are this is not coming. See this multiple. Any right. Not able to find it. Let's just go to that sales order only. If you want to go to the sales order again, we will again follow this part. Sales, enter sales. Now we can click on list. It will show us a whole list right now what we created. It's ET date. We can sort it by recently created. There is a deal today. Let's open this one. We have created. Let me show you once again what I wanted to tell you about that approve button. You can see that this is the status thing. We have it pending approval and pending billing. There will be a feature in that setup company. From there, you can select either by default you want to select pending approval or pending billing. Pending approval means you need to approve it first. Pending billing means you need not to approve. You can directly enter the cycle. Right now, it is showing as pending billing because we have already approved it. After this, we will be completing the cycle by first creating the fulfillment report. For this fulfillment is not showing. That is because let's open this item. That is because this is a non-inventory item. Do you have any idea what we mean by non-inventory item? Means you don't store it. You don't keep the stock for this item. Inventory item is something to which we can store somewhere. If there is an item which we can store, then only we can fulfill it. You know we will be picking it and shipping it, and then we will be delivering it. Because that is a non-inventory item, only for this item fulfillment record can be created. Does that make sense? If there is an inventory item, there will be a checkbox which will be like, fulfill this record, fulfill this sales order. Like that will be there. You can see that next billing is there, billing remaining is there, close order is there, create deposit there. Like that, there will be a button from which we can go to the fulfillment record, and there will be saving that record the similar way we have saved this sales order. Now it will have its own form and we will save it. And after that, when we'll come to the sales order, we will go to this next biller, of which is for creating invoice. I have clicked on this next billing. It will redirect us to the invoice record. We have come to this invoice record. Mostly fields will be automatically filled. Sorry, mostly fields will be automatically populated on the invoice because we are coming from the sales order report. Sometimes, we need to customize these things sometimes. What will happen if we are coming from a sales order record? Now our client may ask us, some advancement in this invoice. They might ask us to remove an item. They might ask us to add an extra item. They might ask us to source a particular field. Any other values like that. Those type of customization client may ask from us. We'll save it. Click on this Save button. Invoice has been created. Now, after the invoice has been created, we can accept the payment. Actually, let's click on this Accept Payment Record. This whole thing I'm just demonstrating you is a order to see cycle only, right? I just want to, give you an idea what types of transaction records are in NetSuite, particularly in O2CC cycle. If you feel like it is not necessary for you, we can skip this part. I'm just, thinking that it's necessary. That's you can skip. We can skip because I already seen this already. You are already aware about these things, right? Correct? Yes, yes. It's done almost like this is the last record. After this, we can just create customer refunds, right? This is a cycle only which we follow for O2C cycle, right? And these are the particular records. I have already, told you what is a fulfillment record and invoice record, right? And are you aware about custom records and custom fields? I saw it a few times. I like, just on a social level, custom field, custom record. I'm not sure I remember I saw it, but I know you can create a custom record on a sublist. I think that's you're able to see the skin right now, right? Correct? Yes, yes. Let me first demonstrate you about custom fields. Mostly as a developer, we are going to use this customization tab, right? And custom fields is the, what should I say, is the smallest part of our development, right? Just to create a custom field, we will go to this customization, list records and fields, right? As I told you in NetSuite, we have transaction records in any record, where is this amount, or let's say any transaction is something which has money involved, right? Money involved in the sense in a record, particularly if there is a sales order, right? It has money involved in it, right? We have a fulfillment, we have money involved in it, right? Invoice is what we have, money involved in it. All these record, we say transactions, and fields other than that which I told you, employee, customer, partner. We say them entity, and items are, you already know, item fields. If we are going to create a field on invoice or sales order, we will go to this customization list record. We will go to this transaction body fields. Does that make sense? Because we are going to create a field for sales order. That is transaction record. You, as a developer, you need to understand the, difference between a transaction and entity. Does that make sense to you? What about item? Item is what? Item is the product item field. Item as well is in record. For that, there is this separate fields we can create. Item is something I have already told you. You can go to accounting items. Item is a product, right? Item is a separate record itself. Inventory. These are items. Product basically means product. Products. Basically, in simple language, we can say products. These may be inventory, non-inventory, discount items, service items, kit package items. There are a set of, items. If you would like, I can give you a whole lecture on this item thing, but that is not a what say. You can easily understand it. There is a, we were on this. The item means that item, right? Item means, and CRAM means. C, RAM means customer relation. Management fields are there. Basically, NetSuite is, mostly used for accounting purpose, but we can use it for a CRM purpose as well, for leads. And, a customer entity will be account, right? Entity will be account. Entity is something, customer vendor. Entity means individuals. We can say customers, employees, like that. We have vendors as well, will come under this entity. Vendor and partners as well. Simple thing, we are going to create a custom field. I'm going to create this transaction body fields first for you. We will, you already know the part customization list, record transaction body fields, and we'll click on new. We can give label, let's say, some meaningful. As a best practice, we need to give this underscore before creating an head. I will tell you why we need to give this it first. We can select any type here from this type field. What type do they have? We have free-form tags. Hello. Let me review this page. You can see that there are these type of fields. We can create a checkbox. We can create a currency field. You are able to see, right? We can create a hyperlink integer number list, record long test, multiple select. These are basically types of field we can create. We can select any. Right now we are taking this free from text only. We have put it as well. We need to provide it. That is best practice. If you will not provide it, it will take. But we'll tell you why this thing is mandatory for us to provide as a developer. I am told. We created this transaction body field. Now we need to define on what transaction we need to show this field. If we want to show this field, particularly on sales, order, or invoice that will come under sale, we will click on this sale checkbox. Does that make sense? And if we want to show that particular field on P2P cycle, that will come under purchase. If you want to show on both, we can click on both. Right now, I am clicking on this sales only. After that, we need to go to this display tab, which I already told you. We need to define under what subtab we need to show that particular field. If you will not select any subtab, let's say it will come under the custom one which I already showed you. Does that make sense? But if I only want to show it on the top, if you want to show it on top, we will select main. And we can select the display type as well. We want to hide it. Sometimes we will create fields, hidden fields, because we just want to get the value from those fields. We don't want to show those fields to customer. Right. Sometimes we will be creating hidden fields, but for now I am taking this as normal. We can create a disabled field as well, inline text as well. Let's say normal field. Validation and defaulting. It is something you can. If I click on this mandatory, it will be mandatory for the user to add something to that field. Does that make sense? If I say I want mandatory only for certain reason, yes, you do calling. If I want to say mandatory only for certain condition, then I do call it. I have a point. From UI, if we want to make this field mandatory from UI, we can. Only, let's say this will be universal. It is mandatory for the customer to enter it, but like you said, you want to make it mandatory under some circumstances, right? That's where her scripting comes. That part we will be covering from scripting only. As of now, we can understand it like this is a universal thing. If we want to make this field mandatory and if we check this checkbox, it will be mandatory all the times for all the users. These are the things, and sourcing and filtering is something if you want to source any value in this field. We can do that as well from the source list, and we can select any field from here. That will be sourcing that value from there, and if you would like to see, let me go to this. As a developer, I'm just trying to make you understand how we search the things and how we make our mind if we are not seeing anything. There is Help sub-tab. You can see that in this help, now it is coming, creating a field. If you sometime have time, you can go to this help center and it will give us a whole idea how to create a custom field. This is a proper documentation NetSuite have provided. This is the thing as a developer, you can, let's say, explore this, and they have given everything in detail here. I was talking about this sourcing and filtering. They have given examples how to do that as well. That is a basic thing. I just wanted to show you transaction. I will add this real quick. Demo transaction. Save. Need to give this. I've already explained you. We need to select any of these purchase sales, or we can select multiple as well and display as well. I have told you, let's select main here. And sourcing and filtering access to a particular role. If you want to show it, we can select that particular role only right. Well, now let's just try to save it. Before, if we want to save it, we need to apply to forms, and only it will show on the forms. Need to click on Save and Apply to Forms. A custom field already exists. I think it has already taken this name. Let's go to List. Demo transaction. It was already saved because of internet. You can see that this demo transaction. Let me open it again. Let me see if I have Save and Apply to Forms. It will click on this. We can select on which forms we need to show this field. These are the forms bill, vendor bill, shared vendor bill, vendor credit. These are all the transaction forms of this O2C cycle. We want to select something, we can select. If we want to unselect something, if we need not to show this field on particular forms, we can unselect that as well. For now, I'm marking all. We can mark and unmark all. Let's just save it. Now that we have saved it, let's see how it is going to reflect on the record. We will go to this Sales, enter sales. What was the field name that we created? It was a demo transaction, right? All these are forms. The section, the form is what is form. Form is a section. This form, the different version of the. You can see that this field is right now coming here, demo transaction, right? These are all the UI customization which we are particularly talking about right now. As you wanted this field to come here in this primary information, right? That was your primary question. I think if you need to show this field here, right? Let me say that that is something we can achieve from UI itself. Right now, you can see that this is coming here. We can customize this particular form as well. For that, we need to go to this customize. You can see that. And we can go to customize form. Oh, is it the same way? We do it from there, or you can do it from here also. We can do it from this sales order record and the particular form we want to customize. We want to change the layout of this form. We need to go there. We can go to fields. I am clicking on the screen fields. We were talking about how we can move the fields. Ours was this demo transaction, right? It should come here. These are all the fields. Let me search it by name. Oh, those are few groups. This is the field here. If you want to show it in primary information, this was the first field group which I showed you, right? We will select this. It will automatically come here, and now we can save this form. You basically go to customize on the right side, top right, and then you or can you go to the customization tab to do it also? You are asking me to go to this customization. The customization, can you do the same thing on the customization tab? Also, let me go, sorry. You can do that also. Can you do the same thing from the customization tab? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you for. You are asking me to do this from customization. Can you do that also? From customization, we can only create fields. From customization can only create fields. But if we need to move elements on that particular form, that thing we can do from customization form only. This subtab is particularly creating for fields or records, right? But if I want to, customize that form, I will go to that form only. But there are some things which will redirect us to this customization. Let me go there. You can see that this demo transaction is now coming under this primary information. That's good. The thing which I told you, that if we want to create this new body field, it will redirect us to the same page which we went from, this customization tab. That's what I meant to say at that time. Does that make sense? After that, what we need to cover is what are custom records. Like I told you, I have demonstrated you about this transaction body field. Similarly, we can create anti-fields as well and CRAM fields as well. You can explore it by yourself, I suppose, right? When you will be having credentials, you can explore it by yourself. You know the thing. Now let me demonstrate to you what are custom records and why we need custom records and what is the benefits of these custom records. For that, creating a custom record as well, we need to go to this list record and record types. Now we will create a new custom record. Sometimes what happens, as I mentioned you, in NetSuite we have multiple records, right? We have entity records. You know these: employee record, customer record, and transaction record, right? But sometimes what will happen, we will have some scenarios that particularly we want to store something for which NetSuite doesn't have a standard record, right? In that scenario, we will be creating custom records. At that custom record, we can design our way. We can have the fields which we want to have there. This is a custom form. We can name our custom record anything. Let's assume we want to store some households in our company. If you want to store some stationery record, we want to have right. I can name it as stationery. Stationery, and we will be giving this ID. It is best practice to provide description as well. We can now save this. Now I will open this stationery record. In this custom record, we can have multiple fields, right? Now that custom record has been created, we can have multiple fields, right? Suppose in this particular field, I need to have a checkbox. I can have that checkbox. Or let's say we need to enter something like item. We need to store the value of some item. We can save it. This way, we can create multiple fields in this particular record. You can see that this is the custom record now. In this custom record, we can check what all record lists are there. Are you getting all these things regarding this custom record, or I need to simplify it further? That's fine. I got it just like a custom table in no other. A custom table or something. Anything related to that custom record, what we have now created, any record we will be creating coming under this list. We will be creating new stationery. Let's say whatever fields we created will be coming under this, right? We created this demo item field. We can put any value here. Let's say demo only. We can enter it here and demo field. I created one checkbox field. I can check it or uncheck it, right? This name field and this inactive field. We can either remove it from that custom record itself. You saw a lot of fields over there, right? You can see that this include name field, right? If I uncheck this box now, that name will not come over there. These are the things you can explore when you will be working yourself. Allow access, UI access. These are the things you can see. Can you add, let's say for example, a custom record, right? How do you access that new record? Can you actually put it under the transaction tab or under some one of those standard? You are asking if I need to source this custom record under any sub-tab of any record. You are saying that yes, yes. That particular thing, you know what you are talking about. It is something we call it child and parent record. Let's say this is a custom record and I want to show this particular record under any sales order sub-tab, right? In that scenario, sales order will be a parent record, right? And this custom record will be the, let's say, child record of that parent record, right? How do you tie them together? Like based on the order number, based on how do you tie them together? We can, create a sub-tab here. Let's say we are creating this field here. Let's first include global. There should be a checkbox enable child. Something should be there. Allow child editing is there. Enable this, enable mail. Whatever these things I'm mentioning here, this comes under functional development. Let's say you are saying that we need to add this record under a sales order subtab, right? Let's create an extra field, which is this record. Can you put sales order here? I'm just checking that only. Anyways, right now, I'll see that how we can, attach the bot. For now, you can understand like we need to give a field, and that field, we can link from a sales order record. Then we can show that particular record on this sales order record. Let me open it. How it will be, showing. Let me demonstrate there. What will happen? There will be a separate tab with the name right. We will click on this tab and the particular record will be coming under this sales order this way only. We will be clicking on this and it will redirect us to the record. This way, it will happen right. This all is the part of functional development mostly. I also need to, sometimes look into this and then I'll be, just to save your time. I'll demonstrate after once. That is the thing about custom records. Custom records is something which are useful sometimes for development. Custom developments. We can use it our way. And that is the thing about custom development, custom records, custom field. I think custom records and custom fields we have already covered right. I guess. Or if you want to know something about custom fields or custom records, you can let me know. Are we clear on this? That's good. And also we are clear about this O2C cycle, fulfillment record and invoice record, sales order, purchase order right. And form customization also. I have, let me go to form customization. What else we can do from form customization? Customize form. This is form customization. You can simply go here. As I told you, we can change the sub-tab of a field or we can, show in which field we need to show that particular field, right? Particularly, if I want to show this, I can select this. This is a form, right? Custom sales order. We have screen field and you have sublist. We have sublist as well. Famous schedules on this field. And then rows, as in which row you can actually look at this form correct. If you don't check on it, that person will not be able to look at. Select this form. Actually, these all make this preferred form for any standard or customer role. These all roles can see actually it if we don't want this particular form to show to any particular record. That what we can do is we can simply go to this set up user roles, manage roles. These are some standard roles, right? Standard roles, we can't do any changes. We can only customize those roles. After customizing a role, we can assign that role to a person and let's say this is a custom role. Let's edit this. These are the transition right to a particular record. Let's say this sales order right. Right now, this particular record has full access to sales order right. But I can, give limited access to this particular record. Let's say I'm giving the permission to only view this particular record right. I can limit access from here. But that's fine. But if let's say I want to only show certain field for a certain role, a certain form for a certain role, Can you control that or not? We can control that. You know what we can do in that scenario? We can create a script and we can actually get the form, and at that time we can check with what role a user is logged in, and that way we can limit that particular role to view this form. Does that make sense? How customization using not standard, right? What is this check? These checkbox, I'm not sure what about, let's check it. What are these? Let me click on some mountain and let's save it, right? These all parts are, mostly for functional development. I'm not, that much expert in functional development. Mostly, Then let's find in this finding. That's the, what is the next topic over here? What is the next topic over there? Let me share that. Form customization was the thing. Form customization, as I already, shared with you, we can do these type of customization like simply we can move elements from one tab to another tab or one field group to another field group. And that is the most things we do with this form customization. Sometimes what will happen? Some fields we will not see in UI, right? But we will open this customized form and we can see that field is visible over that form, but it is not visible on UI. We can check what is the reason behind that. That is the thing. If one field is hidden, that will not show on UI, but we can check if it is on UI. We can check why it is not showing. We can check the type of this. If you want to hide multiple fields, we can come simply here and we can disable those fields. But to standard fields, I think we can't hide the standard fields. We can only hide custom fields. From form, we cannot hide any field. If we want to disable multiple fields, we can disable from here. Does that make sense? These types of customization we can do from this form customization. After that, what is our next topic? Next topic is data migration. Do you have any idea what is data migration? Of course. Can you give me an idea? What do you understand by data migration, right? Right now, you need to go live, right? You have a lot of products you need to move into NetSuite. For example, you need to do data migration. Let's say the company has like 5,000. They used to have 5,000 products with their old system. And now they need to move into NetSuite. Then you need to migrate that 5,000 items into NetSuite. Right? You cannot ask people to enter one by one, correct? You have to ask them to do some data migration and put it in the system. Or either that or account balances. Right? Open sales order that has not been finished in the old system. Right? Or the customers, the vendor that your NetSuite will be. When you move into NetSuite, you will be able to function. Basically, what we are in NetSuite, we mean data migration is that, if we want to create multiple records at the same time, we can do it from data migration. That is simply, You know what will happen sometimes. Now, we will have, if we want to create multiple customers, let's say, right, we will be having a CSV file and we will upload that CSV file, and this CSV file, will create automatically all those records. What is that? This is the path for, importing a CSV. We will go to setup import and export import CSV record. We want to, let's say, import a transaction. This is the transaction. First, we will have to select what type of field we need to select. Right now, I have selected transaction out of those transactions, which transaction we need to upload. Let's say it is a transfer order we need to upload. We need to upload multiple sales order. We need to upload anything invoice or something. Or let's say we need to, we can select from here. Custom record. We can create custom records as well from this. Or we can create employees as well. Or if you want to create customers, it will be coming under relationship. We can create customers as well. Customer. That is the thing we can select. First, we need to define what record we are going to create with the help of CSV. Right now, I do not have any CSV. Tomorrow, what I will do, before the meeting, I will have a CSV created that we can save some time. Directly, I can show you how the process is going to happen. For now, you can understand it like this is the path for CSV data migration. We call it CSV import as well, or data migration. Both are the same thing. We will upload a file from here. Let's say this is a CSV. I will select a file. I'm not sure it is going to work or not. It's just to show you. It is not properly formatted, right? It's only for CSV, right? There's no other way. It's only CSV, right? You cannot do it. It will only take as CSV file. Comma separated is preferred. I will have a file formatted for you. We can see that what errors we can see during this data migration process and how it will actually work and how we can resolve those errors which will be coming while we will be doing this data migration. Right. All this update right. In this data migration, does it actually trigger all the, I don't know because I know Salesforce, right? Basically, when you save a data, save a record, you can trigger certain things, correct? Sorry, can you please come again? When you save a certain record, you can write script to trigger certain action, certain programs, certain code, certain script, correct? Correct? Right. But then when you do a data migration like this, it also triggers all those things. If you write those scripts in the saved trigger, those kind of things actually. Let me just update you about that. As you know, you can see that this data migration is happening from a CSV file only, right? All the client script events will not trigger when we will be importing data from a CSV. But all these server side scripts will trigger. If we want to trigger in NetSuite, we have option. If we want to trigger our script on this particular CSV import, we can trigger that. But if we don't want to trigger script, we cannot allow that as well. That is an option for us. Oh, there's an option right here, or is it somewhere else? It will be here only when we'll be selecting a CSV now. I have uploaded one file. It's a demo file, only just so you know. Now we can move to next without uploading a file. We can't move to next. As you can see, we have option. We want to add only or we want to update only. You need to understand this. When we say add, we mean by this like we want to create the records, right? And if you are clicking on update only, it will not create any new record. It will only update the existing records. How? What does it compare? How do you know it's an existing record? What does it compare? Is it a key or something? Let me show that sales order record only. In NetSuite for a part, for every record there is this internal ID, right? Oh, there's an internal ID. For every record we are going to create in NetSuite, there is this internal ID, and as a developer, this internal ID is the key to everything. If we need to access anything from our script, if we want to load this recording our script, this is the thing, a key thing as a developer for us. This is going to help us in every situation. Can you define additional key? So, can you define additional key? Like I want the document number also is a key. Document number is something we can't do these things. If you want to upload in CSV, we can do it from this document number as well. But in scripting we need to have this internal ID in the update, right? Oh, when I do my update, I need to have the internal ID to find out the internal ID every single time. What will happen? Just see this. This is not a proper CSV. What will happen? Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.